Good afternoon and welcome to Open Mic.
When Black Friday comes, I'll stand down by the door, catch all the great men as they fall from the 14th floor. Black Friday comes, collect everything I'm owed. Before my friends find out, I'll be on the road. Black Friday falls, you know it's got to be. When it falls on me, when Black Friday comes, I'll fly down to Muswell Brook and strike all the big red words from my little black book. Do just what I please, wear no socks or shoes, nothing to do but feed all the little kangaroos. Black Friday falls, you know it's got to be. Don't let it fall on me. Black Friday comes, I'm gonna dig myself a hole, lay down in it till I satisfy my soul. Gonna let the world pass by me, Archbishop gonna sanctify me. He don't come across, I'm gonna let it roll, let it roll, let it roll. Black Friday comes to stake my claim. I'm changing my name. Yeah, yeah.
Welcome to Open Mic on KGPR. This is Mr. Douglas, sitting with blues musician Cary Morin. He's from Colorado, but he is a former Great Falls resident, joining us today. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, now you've got a new album out called Sing It Louder. First of all, congrats on the record.
Thank you.
And we just listened to Black Friday, which is one of the standout songs on the album, and it's an awesome cover of Steely Dan's Black Friday. I mean, talk a little bit about your rendition.
The song was a tune that I played in a band. It was for about a year, real brief time I spent with that band. And when we were recording the album in North Carolina, we needed some covers, and it was just something that kind of just came up with kind of last second.
And another standout song on there is the song W. Obviously, it's got the great line, "Beer in my hand, better than two in the bush." Tell me about that song and what inspired you to write it.
Well, at the time, the Bush administration was just about over, and I just would hear all of these Bushisms on TV and stuff. And then I think there was a YouTube tape where somebody spliced a whole bunch of those together, and I just thought, well, that's a song right there, you know. And I actually wrote way more verses than I ended up using in the tune, and I didn't want it to sound like mean-spirited or anything, but I just thought it was really funny stuff. And I think that I haven't really had anybody come up that was upset or offended by the song. So I still play it. We a lot of times close with it, and I'm happy that happened that afternoon. It was just hanging out at the house and just started scribbling these lines down, you know. And that was actually the first song that was written for this project.
Well, we're going to listen to that song right now. The song is called W by Cary Morin off of his new album, Sing It Louder, right here at Open Mic on KGPR.
I've been happy, sometimes not so much. Stone sober for breakfast, but completely wasted by lunch. Beer in my hand, better than two in the bush. Roe versus Wade don't matter one way or the other. Don't need no fishing license here, 'cause the governor's my brother. Beer in my hand, better than two in the bush. We party here for freedom and democracy. This morning I woke up in the Rose Garden. I got to get me some ribs, a barbecue or something. Get me a good buzz on. Trip too hard and laugh and laugh and laugh. 4:20 at the White House. Time to get me a good buzz on. Freedom is hard, hard work. It's real hard on me. Hard on Laura, hard on Jenna, and hard on the other one too. Now the beer in my hand, better than two in the bush. WMDs don't make me no never mind. I got more liquor in the White House than your mama's got behind. Now beer in my hand, better than two in the bush. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me again, you never fool me again. Beer bush.
All right, we're visiting with blues musician Cary Morin, former Great Falls resident, who has a new record, Sing It Louder. We just listened to the track W. Now, Cary, growing up in Great Falls, obviously not a lot of local blues influence. What led you to really dive into that style of music? Did you pick it up after you left here? Or?
I did, actually, because I've gone through a lot of musical changes since I moved away from Montana in 1981 or 2. We played like rock tunes and country tunes and bluegrass tunes when I lived here. And then when I moved to Colorado, I was 19, I believe. And, you know, at the time here in town, well, we lived out kind of by Ulm. Just drove by there today coming in. I haven't seen that house in 25 or so years. But anyway, we as soon as I moved to Colorado, in that time, about the time MTV started, and they were playing music. I don't think they do that anymore, but I was like exposed to all this stuff that I'd never heard. I didn't even know who Bob Marley was when I was growing up here in Montana. I was like, I was in a fishbowl or something. And then as I was exposed to all these different styles of music, I got into different bands and played that kind of stuff. Reggae and dance music and bar kind of situations. And recently I got hired to play guitar for an artist that lives in North Carolina, and that band is called the Pudafe Trio. And we don't really play in the U.S. hardly at all. We maybe once or twice a year. It's mainly France and different countries right around there. We've been to Italy and Spain, and usually 2 countries will do, but it's mainly in France. And when I got that gig, I was playing guitar for a singer-songwriter, just backing him up, playing electric. And this new thing with the trio required me to play predominantly acoustic guitar, which is something that I hadn't done in years and years and years. So I had to learn all this stuff to get that job, basically. And it turned out to be real fortunate because it's a style of guitar that I really love. And when I'm not out touring with that band, now I have something to do. I can go out and do solo shows and play acoustic. We prefer to do concerts, but we'll do anything. We'll come play in your backyard. I mean, we will literally do anything when we're out driving around. I think the beautiful thing about growing up in Great Falls is back then there were, I think, 3 clubs that had house bands, and the house bands would play like 4 or 5 nights a week, and we could go to one, and the policy was really if they saw you come in the door, then you had to get up and do a song and sit in with the band. So at 17 or 18, you know, I'd be going from all these different stage to stage to stage so that I could get up and play with these guys. And they were all really, really good players. And I learned a lot about just being on stage and watching these fantastic guitar players and fiddle players and bass players. And I learned a lot about how bands work. And everybody had to sing too. I mean, a lot of bands don't do that so much anymore. Have a lot of really good harmonies. And the culture around here is everybody sang, so there would always be at least 3-part harmonies going on, if not more. Another thing we used to do from time to time is there was a piano bar somewhere in town, kind of down by the river, and I think one of us in the band knew the girl playing piano, and so we would all go down there and sit around the piano and sing harmony to the classic tunes that she was doing, and I learned a lot about learning how to sing harmony by doing that, you know.
Was there any one, you were saying that you would go from bar to bar and play with these guys? Was there any one musician in particular that you remember that just really influenced you?
Not really. No, I mean there were so many of them, and they were all so good. I mean there were some differences between their styles. You know, one guy might be better at one thing than the next guy, but you pick up a little bit of something from all of those guys, and it was really fun. I just bought this pedal steel guitar about, I think, 3 years ago. 'Cause I'd always had in the back of my mind that that's something that I wanted to learn how to do, but it was kind of it was hard to come up with the cash for one thing, and then they're just so intimidating that the guitar with the knee levers and the pedals and all that stuff, I just didn't think that it was going to be even possible. But I can remember pedal steel licks from hanging out in clubs and watching bands here. I can remember how they sounded, and just listening to my father's record collection, which was comprised of a lot of like classic country stuff. Hank Williams and Buck Owens and Charlie Pride, and so I have those classic pedal steel licks burned into my brain. And I sat down, I could figure them out, and now I can actually play the thing, you know.
Yeah, and Charlie Pride, former Montana guy too.
Yeah, former Great Falls guy.
Yeah. Well, we're talking to Cary Morin, a blues musician from Colorado. He is from Great Falls. We're going to get into more of that in a minute, but first we got a special treat. He's going to sing a live acoustic version of the title track of his album, Sing It Louder, right here on KGPR Great Falls.
Well, it's all gonna come together. If I can help you feel that love, you and me together, something we can be proud of. All be a whole lot better if I can help you feel his love. Sing and help you feel that love. Sing and help you feel that love. It'll help you dance all through the night. And dancing helps you feel that love. You can dance into his kingdom, stomp your feet so he can hear the music rising up above. Gonna help you feel his love. If I can help you feel that love, sing and help you feel that love. It'll help you dance all through the night. If dancing helps you feel that love, you can dance into his kingdom, stomp your feet so he can hear the music rising up above. Gonna help you feel his love. I can help you feel that love. Just sing and help you feel that love. Well, would you bring it back to me if I can help you feel his love? Wash my sins away forever. Gonna help you feel that love. Give him more than you receive. Sing it louder and believe. Gonna help you feel that love. Sing and help you feel that love. I can help you feel that love.
All right, that was Cary Morin playing Sing It Louder acoustic right here in the studios, KGPR. You're listening to Open Mic with Mr. Douglas. Now, Cary, you live in Fort Collins now. I mean, what led you there and made you really want to drop anchor and stay?
I went to visit. I had a job here in Great Falls, and I just went out there to visit and never came back. I called my mom and said, "Could you go pick up my check, my last check, and send it out to me?" And I had intended to go to school, but eventually I started playing music again, and I've just been doing that ever since.
Well, you're a class of 81 CMR grad. Do you have any, like, what are your fondest memories of growing up in Great Falls?
Hanging out down by the river. I don't know if they still do that. I imagine that a lot of the places that we used to hang out at probably have houses all over them, you know. But I think that, you know, since I lived out of town, about 10 miles outside of town, and had horses and motorcycles and stuff, it was a great place to grow up. I could do anything, you know, and we would. I enjoyed going to the basketball games. That was always fun, and we would when the Rustlers and Bison would play, we'd always go to the football games and whatnot, you know. I lost my yearbook, so and all the moves that I've made over the years, I totally lost that. But every once in a while on Facebook, somebody will post something from the old days. I even found an ancient video on YouTube of one of the homecoming parades, and it kind of has this Zapruder kind of film feel to it, you know. It looks like
all grainy.
Yeah, it's hilarious, and I haven't really had the opportunity to come back. I think I came and my band played here 20 years ago maybe, and I've come back to visit from time to time.
All right, well, we're listening to Cary Morin, and he's going to play another acoustic song for us called Thunder. This is a brand new song.
Yeah, this song will be featured on the next CD. We don't really have a release date for it. I've only recorded 6 songs so far, but we're going to try to get back out to the studios around the Chapel Hill area in North Carolina. So I just got to make time and go out there and knock out a couple more tunes. I'm a creature of habit, a student of the human race. Living here in paradise, trying to learn to keep an even pace. Trying to make something from nothing at all. Sometimes you can pull it off, feels like it's Peter, Pan, Paul. Nothing is easy, the cold wind, the coming fall.
Dark clouds on the horizon, I can see them when I look to the west. I can tell it's gonna be another rough one, but I'm still gonna give it my best. Sometimes I wonder to myself, what would my old man do? He tried to do his best for the family, and that still works for me and for you. Thunder and lightning coming down. Thunder, I used to take cover when I'd hear that sound. Thunder, another day without rest. Thunder and the flash of the coming dawn. Well, my old man was a fisherman. As a kid, I thought there was nothing he could not do. We lived off the river till the river took him back, and he was just another guy with a job to do. I still see him in the wheelhouse, the rain crawling across the dirty glass. I can smell the water and the diesel. When I close my eyes, I'm on a boat in the river in the past. Thunder and lightning coming down. I used to take cover when I'd hear that sound. Thunder, another day without rest. Thunder and the flash of the coming dawn.
All right, that was the song Thunder from Cary Morin. He's playing it live right here in the studio at KGPR. And this has been Open Mic with Mr. Douglas, and we've been talking to Cary Morin, who's got a new album called Sing It Louder. Thanks for joining us, Cary.
Thanks so much. It's been a great way to arrive in town and come over and visit with you guys and reminisce. Thank you.
You want to give me some info, like where people can find you on the internet?
Yeah, they can either find me through the label musicmaker.org or my website, carymorin.com.
All right, thanks, Cary. My name is Mr. Douglas, inviting you to join us next Tuesday at 1:30 for Open Mic, our weekly program featuring local and not-so-local artists. If you would like to be a guest on Open Mic, send us an email at kgpr@msugf.edu, or you may call us at 268-3739. Thank you for listening and supporting Montana Public Radio, 89.9 FM, KGPR, Great Falls.